Welcome back, everybody, to the Gears Esports Summer Major Fallout here, joined alongside Ash once again, and this time it's going to be Ribs joining us in place of the man himself, Toby Campbell. Ribs, welcome back to the desk, my dude. You just said you can't believe I ate that breadstick. Dang straight I ate that breadstick, brother. And I got to clarify, though, it was not from the floor. I brought my own breadstick.
I missed that part, I'll be honest. Yeah. And I can't believe all the semantics throughout that whole segment. I loved it, but I actually couldn't believe my eyes. And I feel bad for production, but I think they liked it too.
I did get permission from Goalie to go out there and be wild. I said, Goalie, permission to go be wild out there? And Goalie said, permission granted. And all of a sudden, the beast was unlocked. But I did bring a breadstick to a knife fight, and I think I won that fight. Right, Ash, what would you say? I think I won that fight.
I don't want to give you any more credit after that whole Fury PK thing. I'm just, whatever
like,
you
no
want,
more
bro.
credit his way. He lost the fight. No, but jokes aside, that was a hell of a match, hell of a series. Obviously, Fury won versus the Pittsburgh Knights. It's just pool play, though. We got a lot of gears ahead of us. I'm excited to see how PK goes back to the drawing board because, to be honest, we've seen the opposite thing happen, Ribs, right? We've seen PK dominate pool play and then come out a little slow in championship bracket. So maybe this is a little bit of the wake-up call they needed.
Yeah, once we see how champ bracket plays out because of that loss, I won't say that loss is a terrible loss, especially they're all landing. They're all at the same house. They could talk it over. I don't think they'll get too emotional. But on the side of Fury 1, that win means everything in the world. So congratulations to them, and I hope they stay playing at that caliber throughout the weekend.
That's the big question. You can come out hot and pool play like that, but you got to keep it consistent. Can Fury 1 do that? And that takes really a lot of character, ability to dig deep, etc. But hey, let's transition and move forward now. Our next matchup is going to be potentially even better, which is crazy to think. We got the Kansas City Pioneers going up live against Rebel. Let's start with rosters here. Let's break down this KCP roster real quick. You know them. Bronny, Zysho, Acels, Handles was arguably the next dynasty in Gears Esports until finally showing a little bit of weakness, losing the last tournament, not making it to the grand finals for the first time in God knows how long. They're looking to prove that they can end Gears 5 reign on top. Meanwhile, on the Rebel side, we got Monkeys, who is going to come out swinging, pissed that he's no longer on the Pittsburgh Knights, or maybe saying, you know what, I'm cool with that. They just lost. I'd rather play with Crack, Cardia, and Exploits. That's the squad here. We all know what Exploits can do with the sniper in his hands. Arguably one of the best snipers in the game. Monkeys, pound for pound, one of the best slayers in LATAM. Of course, alongside Crack, very good individual player. Cardia, type of player that can really do it all. Very versatile overall. Plays support when needed, as we'll see what Cardia and Co can do in this upcoming matchup. Rebel versus KCP. I'm really interested to get your thoughts. Ash, starting with you. Who do you think is going to take it, and what do you think is the biggest thing to look out for?
Well, before we jump into that, I had the side station open on my other monitor.
Oh, yeah. Who won?
That Twilight pushed Rise to a round 11 on the execution tiebreaker, but fell short. So Rise ended up winning the series 3-2. But a round 11 from, the up-and-coming team in Twilight on a Friday. Rise is at a LAN center together. That's a little scary.
That's scary indeed.
I hate to get off topic also, but you could hear it in Detox's mic during the interview. You could hear chatter in the background. That means when they're calming, Nick, right? They could hear that in their comms. That's not a good look. And then on top, last point, because I know this isn't our series. I was watching that in the side station room. Rise was up 5-1 on Canals, and Franchise and I walked out of the room like, oh, it's over. The fact that went to round 11, there's a lot of red flags. But once again, it's Friday. They got the W's. That's all that matter.
The craziest thing is, I don't know if you saw it, but round 11, Twilight snuck Torque Bow and actually grabbed Torque on Canals. They had Torque, they had Snipe. It was their round to lose, and they did. I don't know what exactly happened, but yeah, crazy situation. They kind of forced a push because they had Torque and ended up losing that one. Crazy series. Twilight, though, showing a lot of life here. And I think, did Twilight take third place in their pool? Are we going to see them tomorrow? I think they did. They must have with the way that they're playing. So we'll have a chance to see Twilight likely grind through losers bracket tomorrow. Yeah, confirmed they did take third. So with that said, let's finally move forward here. We do have our picks and bans and our overall map series. Ribs, walk us through it. What are we going to see, and who do you think has the upper hand?
So right away, I'm looking at KCP picking Regency. I like that pick for them. Their strongest control map for sure. And then we talked about Exploits, possibly the best sniper outside of Avexi's, who's kind of has the title right now on Canals. So that's a good pick for Rebel. Vascar, I feel like this will decide the match. I feel like if Rebel can somehow win maps 2 and 3, I think they'll win 2, 3, and 4. But if not, I think I see KCP winning their map picks 1, 3, and 5. One last thing about Canals as well. I hate that Handles picks up Sniper and not Zysho. Obviously, Handles could get headshots. Maybe Zysho is better at another position. But for a while in Gears 5 Esports, especially when that dynasty really started with KCP, Zysho was considered the best sniper, and we haven't seen him snipe on Canals. I don't know why.
Makes no sense. Yeah, if you have Zysho on your roster and you're not giving him the sniper rifle, you're not doing it right. I don't care if somebody else plays one of the other spots better or worse and Zysho's better at it. You give Zysho the sniper, you let him do his thing, and you guys just learn your damn spots on the map so Zysho can do his thing.
Yeah, that's an absolute fact. Let's take a look at the keys to victory here, though, for each team. And Ribs, starting with you, keys to victory for, I believe, the Kansas City Pioneers, where we're going to start here. Walk me through them.
Yeah, sure thing. I actually haven't seen them yet.
Oh!
No, you go ahead. Go ahead, talk, John. Go ahead, talk, John. You take it, because that's clearly meant for you, John. Go ahead.
Oh my God, I love it so much. Get Bronco, baby, KCP. And for those that don't know and are confused as to why I'm freaking out right now, Affinity,
Compose yourself.
Rise,
Compose yourself.
and I used to be the duo on Get Bronco, the best team name, the best team in Gears esports history. We should have won the national championships in Gears 2. I digress. We decided to sleep in instead of warm up. Terrible decision. Get Bronco. You got to unleash the beast. You got to get crazy. And that's what Get Bronco is all about. It's a lifestyle. It's a mentality, you know? And everyone always said, what is it? What does Get Bronco even mean? That's it. That's it right there. All on top of that, they got to unleash the beast. They have a lot of beasts on their team. Let Zysho go crazy. Mid-bridge control on Canals, super important. Avoid that snipe battle with exploits. He's too good with it. But hey, if it snipes in Zysho's hands, I'm happy to see that from an entertainment perspective. On the flip side, let's jump into Rebels. Keys to victory. Ash, walk me through these ones.
Yeah, I mean, and for those of you out there, you know, I feel like Get Bronco is like the boomer way of saying throw smokes and get loose, right? So Rebel needs Handles and Nacelles to be shut down. These guys are the MVPs from the fall and the winter majors. These guys are obviously carrying this team in a lot of ways. Nacelles we saw clutching up earlier. I believe he pulled like a 1v3 in one of the matches on stream earlier today. So Nacelles obviously is firing on all cylinders. Rebel needs to control that, needs to shut him down, slow that momentum down, and really dictate the pace. On top of that, no monkey. Oh my God. No monkey's business.
Fran fit 3 gamer tags into the keys to victory.
Yeah, I don't
It's impressive.
What in the world what are we seeing right? Ash can't even break that down because it's astounding.
Yeah, I mean,
the funny part is it's still a great point though. Monkeys is the best. He makes the best decisions I hate to give Fran credit. He does make some of the best decisions. So no monkey business. Then says something about team fights. It actually makes sense. Let monkeys
I don't get it.
make
if he
those
makes good decisions and he's saying no monkey's business, like don't make monkey business dumb decisions. So that doesn't make any sense.
Oh yeah, I want to give Fran credit, but sorry, go ahead. Nick. Finish the thought, Nick, because I cut you off.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, man, you nailed it. Like Monkeys is obviously a crucial player for this roster. He's extremely talented. So, you know, don't let him conduct his normal business let him conduct his normal business. Yes. Let him do his thing for KCP or against KCP. And then, you know, you got me all confused now. And John's giving me looks and stuff, bro.
Yeah, I'm giving you looks. No monkey's business, but let him conduct it. I don't understand his business. I'm so confused. Franchise, can someone please make a Twitter account called Translating Fran's Tweets and translate this guy's life and his keys to success? Because I'm just confused.
He's having fun with it. And we talked about it the last couple events. A lot of these keys to victories you're kind of saying the same thing, but you're wording it differently. And Fran's pretty creative, so I want to give him. I gotta give. And a lot of the times there is still a level of strategy that he comes to with these keys to victory. He's not just talking out of his ass. Okay.
No, that's good strategies and some good creative writing for sure. And for a man whose English is his second language, that's pretty damn impressive from my man Jose. I gotta say. So kudos to Fran. Jokes aside, good keys to success for both teams. And nonetheless, I'm looking forward to this one, Rebel and KCP. I can't wait to jump into predictions here in just a minute whenever our production team is ready. And guess what? They're ready right now because this is a tough one to predict. I mean, KCP, obviously, historically a great team, looking good today, but there's been a little bit of talk and rumor has it they're not necessarily melding too well as a team. Didn't look good in Pro League. So it's tough to say against a really, really powerful Rebel squad. Ash, who are you going to take and why?
Yeah, I mean, you know, KCP, if I remember correctly, during the last major, they weren't really putting in full effort into practice, and it probably showed a little bit, right? Like that dynasty run kind of fell short of what everyone was expecting for Gears 5. So they still showed up. They were still, you know, a pretty solid team. So now if things have gotten worse from that level, I would lean towards Rebel. I think it's going to be a really close match. Historically in the Pro League, KCP won it. It looked pretty convincing too. It was a 3-1. The map counts that they won weren't too close. I know Ribs was talking about those control maps, but I'm going to have to disagree with you. They actually took the control map on Ritual during the Pro League match, and it was a pretty convincing fashion. It was like 300 to 179 or something like that. So I think KCP has the map advantage. I think long-term chemistry, they have that advantage. I think Rebel's going to really have to fight to win this one. I'm going to have to give it to KCP.
All right, Ash has KCP taking it. Ribs, how about you?
Yeah, and I mean we've been talking about the struggle of KCP. They still made it to winners finals of the spring major, and though they lost both of their matches on Sunday, they're still a strong team. 5th place in Pro League only means so much. This is still somewhat of a dynasty team. I do think that Vascar decides the match, and then if there's players I really need to step up on Rebel, it's definitely Monkeys and Cardia to continue to do what they're doing. But I do have KCP. I don't care what people say. This team is still the most dominant Gears 5 team throughout this season and throughout probably Gears 5 history.
Oh, boy. Well, don't make me do it to y'all again because I'm taking KCP as well. Okay. I got KCP winning this one. I can't go against you. And this time, again, this is for my perfect slate today. I can't be wrong. KCP, don't let me down. But I think overall, yeah, everything you guys have said is spot on. I'm not going to repeat what some brilliant minds have already spoken to. Although, listen, I do think all three of us could easily be wrong. And Rebel could take this. It's a really, really talented squad. So I think it's going to be a great match. Nonetheless, gentlemen, any final words or thoughts kind of previewing this matchup, or are you all good? You just ready to go? Ash?
Look, I'm ready for some intense action to close out the stream today. I mean, this is going to be a great matchup. I'm just ready to kick back, watch, and pray my prediction's correct.
You can't take 2 L's in a row, Ribs.
No.
Yeah, it's just crazy to think final pool play match that we will be seeing in Gears history potentially, right? So, I mean,
my heart.
Final match of Friday. Let's make it a good one. I'm hoping for a game 5. We just got a crazy upset. I wouldn't mind to see another one. But really, evenly matched teams right here. So either one of the teams, whoever plays better, will get the W.
Damn. Hit me hard opening the show. I got emotional, almost broke a tear, not going to lie. And here we are closing the show. You're trying to make the same thing happen again. It's been a hell of a run, that's for sure. But hey, for the final time, at least for now, in pool play, let's go ahead and throw it over and enjoy ourselves a pool play match. Over to you, casters.
All right. Thank you so much, John. What's up, Jacob? I ain't got a chance to hang out with you all day, get a chance to talk to you. I wanted to chop it up with you, but I couldn't hear you until now. But I hope you've been doing good. How you been, man?
I've been doing good, a little bit under the weather, but we're all surviving here today.
Yes.
And that is kind of the story of this matchup because it's no longer about surviving. These players, even though it is a pool play match, they have to start thriving because what we've seen throughout the regular season, Pioneers struggling, lack of practice being a main focal point of their downfall.
Yeah.
But Rebel has a different story, a history of inconsistencies. I got to think this has been their best season since joining the Pro League.
I honestly agree with you. It has been their best seasons. Monkeys have made them better. And shout out to Franz Keys, the victories and the puns as well, the analogies, him and Ryan putting that one together. Because I agree with no Monkeys business, okay? He was trying to say you can't play around. You got to go out here and you got to be serious. We need to see that MVP caliber Monkeys. That was the scariest player, especially throughout the first season of Gears 5. As well, you got to handle sales and handles, okay? Because if those two guys start popping off, it's going to be difficult for you, all right? Pioneers have been having some struggles, and as I was trying to figure out my prediction for this, I was like, which way is it gonna go? What Pioneers are we gonna get today? Also, what version of Rebel? One team has decreased in skill, other has came up, so we could be meeting in the middle. It is a tough one to decide, but the way that Fury 1 has been playing, I think that entire team has inspired LATAM to kick it up a notch.
Yep. Yeah, and honestly, I think Star Wars really kind of predicted this matchup for me because in my head, I think the Rebel forces are going to take down the empire that Pioneers were trying to build. I think they have what it takes. They have been playing lights out. And one thing I learned, even though it was a blunder in my all-star picks, but I learned whether you could understand him or not, whether he's speaking to you or not, Monkeys is a game changer, and he is not scared to take over.
He is not scared to take over. I don't know why this is back here, but I see
what is it?
I see Chips and I see Danny 1 and Monkey 0, right? But this can change, okay? I don't know who wrote it back here, all right? But that right there, that can change. And the way that Monkeys has been playing, he wants it. Also, he wants to outplace all of his old teammates as well. So this Rebel team is playing on playing with a chip on their shoulders, and we know that this could be Rebel's last event as an organization. So they want this win.
Yep. Yeah, that's going to be something historic. There's a lot of history in the making here, Blaze, this weekend. From the Latin American teams trying to win the championship, from Rise, even though they did win the last major, it took them so long to win just that one. Can you imagine if they go back to back? And then obviously Powers and E United have a story that they're trying to build up as well. But this Rebel story, like we kind of agreed on, is the most impressive one this season. From turning around one of the, I wouldn't call them one of the worst teams, but one of the worst teams to kind of fall victim to the inconsistencies. You switch out Danny, Identives, and Monkeys, which they're both MVP caliber players.
Correct.
But Monkeys just fits the role. He fits the mold of that Rebel roster because they tried to run strategy. They tried to run strats, hold setups, but it wasn't necessarily their strong suit. It was slaying. So you add Monkeys and his slaying power to this roster, it just works.
It just works. Our final group play match of the day is about to get underway soon. It's Rebel versus the Pioneers here on Regency. Our players getting loaded in, getting set up, and we'll be kicking this one off soon. Pioneers, they're going to have to come out here and get an early lead, I feel, for them to be comfortable. I think, Jacob, if Rebel comes out, Hill 1, Hill 2, they start playing hot, they start looking dominant. Pioneers may be in their head, but we've seen them lose map number 1 beforehand and like lock right back into it, right? Start coming back, win 3 in a row. The map cycle is looking good for Pioneers, but, you know, we'll see what happens because I do know one thing. Map number 2 is Canals.
Oh, that's going to be a fun map to watch. I don't really... Who's sniping for Rebel? Is it Exploit still? Kind of on this roster. He's definitely going to take over if we get to Canals. But we got to get there first place. And these guys got to fly with confidence at an all-time high. And it starts here on map number 1. Bronny's going to be the first one going down, but quickly revive back up into the fight. Nobody wants to give up any easy inches on this initial.
No easy inches whatsoever. And the Rebel forces have came out with some fire. And Pioneers, well, a few blunders on their end over there for the Empire, as they will lose 3 players off the start. Handles in his 1v1 against Cardia. He'll get focused by 2. It's a dash to the power weapons. Will Crack make it in time? The first player down, Zysho, he's going to hide his numbers. I don't know if I agree with that one, but we'll see how sneaky he can be. Oh, Sales says, get out of here.
That's a deflator right there. That was a great attempt coming out from Crack, but his teammates, he put himself in such a bad spot, unable to really finish off that elimination. You see where Zysho's head at as well. 25 seconds left on the clock for this hill, and he's trying to play for next, but Crack gets shut down. Zysho is keeping things rolling as he goes back-to-back, taking out Monkeys as well. 3 players fall for Rebel. This is the second hill Pioneers were looking for.
Yeah, this is great. I love how Zysho pulls out his pistol. Don't waste any other M-bar shots. Cardia will burn what looked like was his last nade in that engagement. I don't see it picked up on any other side from any of the players on the Pioneers. They got a flash, they got a smoke to work with on this next engagement that is coming quick. Off the respawn, Bronny will be able to add another flash to the mix. Zysho, 2 shots left in the M-bar. You see the Pioneers looking to get proactive, finding kills around the map, not sitting back, waiting for that push to come through. They want to make sure that they have the numbers advantage, and they do in this moment, but can you get in and save yourselves? You cannot. Now Zysho has to back down, looking for a revive, but Bronny needs one too as well. Shots being missed. Rebel showing supreme focus fire as they will just keep Pioneers at bay, Jacob.
Yep, they did such a good job of, while they were all pushing towards the hill, they made sure to keep a guy at least farther than the Pioneers roster. And that's why Cardio was able to get that close spawn. And once again, you got the Pioneers stuck in that same decision. 30 seconds left. Do you go ahead and contest the hill for trash time, or do you try to play for next? It's going to be a real interesting decision that could be impactful for the mid game.
Oh, Bronny, a little bit too close. You know you can't get that kill right there in that situation. Rebel on the offensive once again. A back 8 comes through. 2 kills coming very quickly as Zysho trying to defend this M-bar on the respawn. He has to take so smart.
I love that. Yeah, I love that. He's like, I'm going to die. I might not be able to take somebody with me, but I'm going to take the M-bar down for sure. And that was like a real silver lining of the situation. Because you could already see Rebel stretching far and wide. They have the close spawn point. And right now, if they attack, they have a 3v2 for the actual hill.
The nade will be able to push Bronny out of this position, and an entire Pioneer squad having to work from the downhill portion of the map to get to P3 as Rebel break the 100-point marker. Look at the defense on the mini-map. is beautiful. You got one player watching the hill, two players mid-map, Zysho, Cardia. Oh, Zysho's taking some damage. He has to back out, but I love how Cardia doesn't chase the kill. He'll just back up, check the other lanes, and ask his teammate if he needs some help. And now get ready for this fight. Pioneers still are not making a move, Jacob. We finally see it in action. Hopefully they can come out on top with this fight and get themselves some points, but I don't know if it's looking good. The double down coming out for Cells. Exploits, can you get in and save your teammates? He's trying to. Looking to win the 1v1 battle. Oh, Cells ain't playing around.
Exploit really thought he was going to clean up on that damage easy, but Cells is the one who walks away, wipe his hands clean of that elimination as Monkey's doing what he can. He's trying to be the anchor in the backside, but now they face that same decision that Pioneers did moments ago. 20 seconds left, and you're already seeing them making that quick answer happen. Yeah. They're rotating. They're trying to catch somebody for the Pioneers off guard, give themselves the advantage, and then work from there.
If a Cells doesn't pop off right there, it's so bad for the Pioneers because they've been playing so slow, right? We watched them on the last two hills set up on the outside of it and take 7 years to figure out what push they wanted to make. If they would have failed there and went to this hill with just less than 20 points, it would have been super demoralizing for them. But they got some on the board, and if they can switch it around right now, Jacob, win this hill, they're right back in this game.
Yeah, the only thing that I feel like is just kind of concerning is Exploits just picked up those new frag grenades. You see him rotating them on over towards the side. You got to imagine Monkeys, he has that extra. I thought he would actually pick up the extra utility, but no, he's actually going to choose to defer and be that tip of the spear, which is not necessarily a bad thing unless you get caught off guard by Cells and just tackled to the ground.
Wow, just Cells ain't taking no prisoners today. The fourth round draft, the fourth draft pick in the All-Star game for rightful reasons, as we can see. Nades coming out, no connection. 2 in-bar shots for Bronny. Pioneers racking up this time. They're going to lose a member in this moment. Being down, can Bronny hit the shot his team needs? Yes, he will. Goes right through the legs of Exploits. Shotty out, calls for reinforcements. Now, Exploits couldn't get the wrap shot for the chunk. He'll go down. Cells to join his teammates, and in this moment, Rebel needs to start playing for Fountain, the next heal. P5.
Even though they won't gain the lead off of this hill on the side of the Pioneers, they're going to get dangerously close, and with the Cells and Zysho's falls, that almost leaves Bronny no choice but to sit back. But you can see the way in the minimap, the way he's not touching the hill. Yeah. He wants to hide his movements, be that secret player, especially with the M-bar in hand. That can be so fruitful, but Handle's trying to do that same thing. He gets caught out, and that gives an advantage over to Rebel.
Also gave a long spawn to his team as well. Granted, they got time to rotate. It's not the worst thing in the world. You got 5 seconds on ult. They're getting right back into this fight. They got some time to think. No more in-bar shots left there for Bronny. Zysho goes down. Monkeys, Exploits, looking to get 2 more on the board. Cells and Bronny, they'll down Monkeys. Crack goes down as well, but Exploits will find him a 1v1. He partners up with Cardia to rotate down towards Fountain. But what spawn will their team get? They're trying to get something on the other side of the map. Maybe something a little bit closer. I don't know where they spawn. They actually spawned at M-bar in the middle of everyone. They're dancing, trying to stay alive, and they're doing a good job. They're not being contested, but here comes the nades towards the back. The pinch is in. Cardia goes down. Exploit says, I need one more kill. He won't be able to get it.
Great melee. Quick thinking from Raul as Cells to get that elimination. And honestly, that was absolutely perfect for them to converge the way they did from multiple angles. And you can see, even though Handles didn't mean for this to happen, he spawned so far out on the swarm side. You had somebody staggering a death at the close spawn, which gave them that M-bar spawn. If teams can begin to perfect that, that'll make it so much easier to hold these long spawns on maps like Regency and Spire.
All right. 6 M-bar shots for Mono. What can he do? Currently Rebel. I like the setup. A headshot coming out. You got Zysho on the wall. Gets melee down. Cells. He dodges 2 M-bar shots. Still in the fight. He gets a kill in that situation when he shouldn't. And that's just a testament to his skill level. But can his teammates match his energy in the moment when he needs them the most? Bronny taking a good amount of damage, but he'll find a kill. But Mono!
Trying to be the hero right now.
He's
connected on a few good shots so far. It's just the team. They're not following up on a lot of the damage, which is allowing KCP to push forward the way they did. You saw Handle just moments ago. Go in, get the elimination, and quickly back on out. They're not biting off more than they can chew, and that's exactly why Pioneers have now taken the lead back.
All right, Pioneers, the lead in their favor. Mono with the headshot. Cardi on the flank. Bronny with a little bit of damage right there. Can he get some more? Zysho is definitely adding to the pot. Rebel starting to crumble. Are they going to fold? They're fighting back. They know that they've lost the lead. Pioneers trying to catch their second win. Mono with the right hand, getting multiple shots in. He gets another down. Almost came away with the second. I'm loving his usage of cover. He's doing a great job picking up these kills. Yeah, but Pioneers, they got the lead, and now look, oh my, look at that scoreboard. It was, you know.
Cells he needs help. He needs a little bit of help.
Yeah.
Even though he does have Handles crossing for him and a couple crosses coming in, you know as well as I do, from their former glory with how aggressive they were getting with their shotguns, they need to figure out a way to return to that form. But it may take some time. It may take some prodding. But right now, they're doing a good job of keeping this one relatively close. Even more so because it's a full hill. And usually when it's a full hill, Blaze, that's 2 team fights that need to be won.
Yeah, it definitely is going to be. And we'll see if Rebel can win these team fights. They did a great job early on. Both of our squads have a superstar that's just rising to the occasion. Assails and Monkeys. As you're going to see, Mono has to get the quick revive, misses the M-bar shots, and now he's going to just drop back, help his teammates. A clip full of actives, looking for the body. Ooh, Zysho. Wasn't close shot, though, but he knows exactly where Monkeys is going to be. Here's the press in the hill. And it's looking like Pioneers is going to fold. Zysho will take one. But ultimately, Jacob, it is Rebel getting some much-needed time that they haven't been able to get over the last few hills. So we'll see if they can have better success rotating to P2 and P3 again.
Yeah, and about an 80-point lead for the Pioneers is going to allow those 2 remaining members to backtrack exactly how you saw them just a few seconds ago. And you can see in your minimap, they're getting ready. They're setting up for this next hill. And that's exactly with the shot grenade coming up. Rebel, they have to start playing their cards right here because they did win a team fight there, but they only got rewarded trash time. So there's still 2 team fights needed to be victorious on the side of Rebel just to tie this game up.
All right, now Rebel, they got a new M-bar coming up in 30 seconds. New nades coming up in 6 seconds. They are playing for these nades right now. And, you know, they should be able to get them, especially with this M-bar protecting them. That M-bar able to keep all the sight lines clear. No extra lantern fire. And now we'll see Monkeys join his squad. Multiple smokes, some deep flashes. They're dodging shots. Cardi is soaking up a lot of damage. Making room for the nades to get through. He gets the revive. I think he still has 1 nade to work with as well. It was a good trade there on crack. Zysho, the Lancer in his back. He ain't able to do nothing about it. I think he took a little bit of damage from his teammates right there in that situation. Monkeys misses the body, but he saves his team. Now Rebel gets a setup in the spawn. Crack! He'll take down Bronny. Rebel, they win one of those team fights that you said they needed to get, Jacob.
Now they just need one more to hold it. Won't tie the game up, but get it relatively close. And this is exactly why you see the Pioneers pushing as hard and fast as they can to try to at least get it contested. 58 points, even if you lose the battle, that's something you could definitely hang your hat on. But Bronny, Cells, both of them get shut down. Handles soon to follow, and Zysho has no choice. You can see him in the minimap starting to play for next, even though there's 25 seconds left. They're banking on this one coming down to the wire, and they know how tough it is going to be as soon as Rebel gets to the spot where the spawn is at the top side.
All right, now after winning that team fight, Rebel has to take the spawn, but Crack says, hey, it's my turn to start hitting these shots with the M-bar. Beautiful first kill to allow his teammates to be able to get on the right edge, but Assails, Bronny, they find 2. The down is there, but the M-bar can't connect on the kills. Crack only has 1 more shot to work with. The hill still hasn't transitioned, so Rebel's in a good spot. They actually have 4 players closer to the hill than Pioneers. You got Zysho trying to get to his teammates as soon as possible. If he hits 1 shot, that'll get it done as 2 players fall right away. Now Zysho partnered up with Handles, and they can't get it done. Crack stays cracking. 60 points left on his heel. Rebel should have the lead soon. Pioneers need to be quick on this retake, but nades are up.
Gotta defend them. Have to defend those frag grenades with your life. First down's gonna come through. I agree with you, Blaze. You gotta start contesting it. You see the rotation coming up top. Monkeys gets a mark, and he's calling it out, making sure all the information is going to be given. Frag grenade still up. I think M-Bar's being waited on as well. This is a great setup and a great chance for Rebel to gain the lead.
Handles will go through mid-map, get the nades. Cracks keeping marks. He's getting time on a hill. His teammates are fighting for the power weapons. I'm loving this setup from Rebel, but now they gotta deal with Zycho and his 6 M-Bar shots. We'll see if he can pop off for the Pioneers, as we will have our second lead. Why you not gonna get the lead? You got 20 seconds left in this hill, and you leave at 264. What is that, Jacob? How you gonna walk away with an L? How you play so good and walk away?
I'm just saying, they just want to give themselves enough time right now, Blaze, or at least I thought so, to go ahead and make an attempt, right? And if they fail, that's fine. There was 18 seconds. They're going to spawn back up and be able to push once more before the hill turns, but taking as much time as they can. This one is really going to come down to maybe 1 or 2 World Star plays or a full team hold out of KCP.
What positioning from Exploits to dodge that nade? And you see that 1-point pressure that Rebel purposely put on their backs, right? So that they can keep playing like this, keep playing like they're from behind. They'll carry that momentum over towards this neutral hill, and now they officially have the lead change, Jacob. It was all psychological for me, but they were thinking 200 IQ because they're still playing like they did on that last hill, and they have not faltered yet.
Yep, that additional angle from Exploits in towards the middle, just made sure that nobody was going to be able to escape down those steps. But now the tables have turned. Players are trying to come up. A couple of them are trying to come from the side as well. That's Bronny and Handles working in tandem. But Cells and Sideshow have no choice. Less than 20 seconds remain. And Rebel, they have the high ground. Shots coming in from the back. First down's going to come through. Double down at that. Cells is going to be cleaned up. There's 3 players here, making sure Sideshow cannot survive. And this is basically over, barring any miracles out of Bronny and Handles.
Great trigger control from Rebel. Monkeys gets in, gets a kill. Handles goes down. And 10 more points needed for victory. Rebel looking to lock in map number 1. Can Pioneers stop them? They cannot. Rebel, they strike first in the series, Jacob.
I told you, man, the Star Wars predicted this so many years ago. The Rebel forces have taken out the Empire in map number 1. And look at Monkeys.
Damn.
16 elims, 20 assists, only 6 deaths, and 17,000 damage. I definitely learned my lesson, but I don't think the Pioneers did. And look at that on the other side. Cells desperately needed some slaying help, and that would have been just a little bit easier because look how close it actually was.
Monkeys, 6 deaths. 16 kills, 20 assists, 6.0 KDA with 18k damage to his name. 6.0 KDA. Okay? Every time you spawn up, you put an action on 6 different players. You're getting a few of those kills as well. But you are giving so many issues to 6 different players on the map. And it's a 4v4 game. That is a testament to Monkey's skill. And that's why I say, just go ahead, put an asterisk right here, just in case. He don't got it yet, but we're going to put an asterisk in there, for that performance.
That is, but I love, as much as I love identives, I love a superstar. I love a superstar. I love what Monkeys has been able to do here. He's really just having a consistent performance throughout all season long. And that's the thing that we're talking about. Even though there's a history of inconsistencies on Rebel, I feel like they found the solution. They figured out how they want to play here, and it's an aggressive play style that I love to watch.
It is super aggressive, right? Like, Rebel, they're very streaky, okay? And when they're hot, they're hot. You see them moving around the map fast. You see them playing for the power weapons, playing for each other, and always staying ahead of the game. And that's what we saw right there, especially towards that last heal X goal, which is P3 on the rotations. And, I just love Crack's positioning. He's not just sitting there, collecting time. He's keeping marks up. He's getting damage where he can. They're playing for M-Bar. They're playing for nades, all while it's 40 points left on the heal at goal. And so Rebel just had fantastic map control, and they played those objectives very well, Jacob.
Yeah, and you can see that moment. They were trailing by like 40, 50 points. They just did a good job at the end. Not only closing out the game, that's a dud. They're up 1-0, but coming back, holding the Pioneers out of the hills. I told you at one point or another, they needed 2 consecutive team fights. Not only did they get the 2 consecutive team fights, they stretched it across the map and kept it going from one hill to the next. That's just an amazing performance from a team that I don't think very many people expected to win the major at all.
I agree with you on that one. I agree. Now, I'm looking at that map cycle. Canals is map number 2, okay?
Uh-oh.
Handles ain't going up against exploits, okay? He is, but is he ready today?
You sure it's not going to be Zysho?
Is the Grinch? I don't know. No, it was Handles last time we watched him. Handles was on that bridge, okay? Even though I would have thought it was Zysho, but I think Zysho's playing more on the low side, okay? We know how talented Zysho is as a sniper, and he gets the scope a lot on Clock Tower, but I don't think that's going to be his position here on Canals. But whoever it is, they got their hands full with a player that some call the best sniper in the game. Okay, I know a lot about that title. And I think exploits, he embodies that, and you got to be scared of this guy, okay? He'll take over Canals single-handedly, but also he has help, right? He has Crack on his side, being able to go up there towards that mid-bridge, get the damage out for his team, but he's going to have to meet up with the cells. And the way that we just saw him playing in that last map, he's looking to get to an execution. It doesn't matter what free power weapons you're going to get.
Yeah, and then on the other side, you got Monkeys playing high side. Playing high side 1v1, I do believe. So that's going to be one tough cookie if you're going to go up against him, because the way he's just been performing. And he knows a lot of those situations where if his teammates are dying down low, if he realizes a sniper happens across the map, he's going to push up into that 1v1. He's not going to stagger himself down. He's not going to be complacent saying, oh, there's next round. He's going to try to take over every single chance that he gets. And that's where I'm going to see it's interesting enough. I wonder who's going to try to run that first water strap because their snipers aren't working out.
I don't think anyone will. I don't think anyone's going to be running any water straps today. You may see some bowls get picked up towards the mid-round, towards the late round, but I don't think we're going to see a lot of that action to kick it off. It's just you don't want to be in that portion of the map with the sharpshooters we got. Now, Vascar, okay, is a little bit. I don't know how I want to tilt towards Vascar. Both these squads are talented, but Pioneers, right? I will historically give Pioneers Vascar, as Rib said on the desk beforehand. You know. Hey, he still considers them as one of the best teams to ever play Gears 5, if not the best team to ever play Gears 5, right? And we know how much of a staple Vascar is. It's been in the cycle since we've started this season, right? Since the games came out. And so Pioneers is one of the filthiest teams you'll see on that map, and I mean that in a good way. But you have to move from there to a Ritual. Ritual at the speed in which Rebels playing, it's going to be difficult for the Pioneers to keep up if they play like they did in that first map. And then you're going over towards the Tomb execution. It's a lot happening here, okay? You're going to have, Crack playing for that bow. You'll Monkeys playing for the bow. Him or Crack, one of the two. You'll have exploit. Yeah, right? Do whatever the hell he want. And then you'll have exploits over there towards the scope. So it's a great cycle for Rebel. That's ultimately what I want to say. Even though everybody picked the Pioneers, this is a fantastic cycle for Rebel as well. And it's honestly anyone's game. Who wants to show up in map number 2? Well, we about to find out, Jacob. We head into one of my favorite maps of all time, Canals. And oh my God, as I just think about it, so many memories coming back to me. And it may be one of the last times I get a chance to cast on this map. But hey, I'm happy Astro got my back, because I've been casting with them headsets on since the beginning. It's a reason why I don't never got to watch my back when I'm sniping, okay? I know when you're coming. I just got to keep my sight line straight ahead towards the goal, just as these players have to. Let's see if the Wolves about to come out.
Yep, you see the snipers going at it. Handles versus exploits, like Blaze predicted. Cardia going down low. He does have a little bit of help in the form of Crack, who's actually going to go and grab that torque bow, trying to bring it back towards his side of the map. He goes down at the moment. So does Monkeys. Sniper firing off from exploits. He's trying to be the hero, but you cannot stop the walking multi-kill from Acels finishing those off.
Nah, you
Triple.
can't. He'll go on the wall. Oh, give him 4. The ace for Acels to kick off the round. And I must say, his aggression high side, he never stopped. He got towards his opponent's pillars faster than I've seen in a long time. I love the strat from Rebel to kick it off, though. They let exploits match up against Handles. He wants to fight. Handles won't take that shot. If he does, he may get his head blown off. But if he doesn't attempt to, Crack may get a free bow every round, and I think that's one of Rebel's game plans, all right? We'll see what happens, but Acels, he's going to the high side. He's going up against Mono. Let's see what he can do.
Double dash for that middle bridge where Crack's going to be able to get that first blood. They're denying entry over to Zysho. He's trying to make up for it. Exploits with the sniper headshot onto Handles. And that would have been a close one because if he allows Handles to shoot the shot, that could have been a headshot to try to even up the score. But it sells. He got an ace last round. Cannot do that here yet again in the 1v4. And that's Rebel tying us up at 1 round apiece. And I don't think anybody, after seeing map number 1, expected a blowout. This is going to be close through and through.
It is going to be close through and through. I did notice one thing right there. Exploits is playing ISO on Handles, right? Man on man right there, bridge to bridge. He always has his crosshairs on Handles, so trying to leave the fight as a 3v3 for the rest of his squad as they're trying to work the water, work the mid-bridge. I think I see a bow play coming out as we don't got no one towards the mid-bridge. Handles, did he even get it? He didn't even get the scope. They send 2 up top. They're trying to get this pressure there. Exploits, it reached. Okay, never mind. I ain't saying nothing else.
That's that Tom Brady arm. He just threw the Hail Mary. Maybe saved today because you see where it exploded right in front of him to get the stun, but cannot save him twice. Lightning won't strike in the same spot as Crack gets taken down. That's going to be first blood, but where Exploits is positioned right now until Frags trying to flushes him out of that spot, I think he's going to be in a power spot to deny any possible movements towards that high side. But as soon as he rotates on over, that window of opportunity will open up.
They just realized they can get a free bow. Okay, no one from Pioneer.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because when you run a 2-2 strat like that and you're not playing for snipe because you don't trust a sniper on your team, you have to get first blood, drop back, then acquire the power weapons. Go pick up your snipe, go pick up the torque bow. But it seemed like Pioneers had a little bit of a brain fart, okay? Now they got to deal with the torque bow as well, as you're going to see the pressure on mid-bridge. Exploits is looking for his 1v1 fight with Handles, but you hear the Chuckies on the right? The little footsteps from Assails trying to put the pressure on for his team. A body shot comes through for Handles. No downs on the map just yet. Exploits trying to make it a 3v3. Can he do it? But his teammates get cleaned up, and so now he's in a 1v4 situation. Don't blind fire him, bro. Do not. Okay, but you tried it. It was a great effort. Okay, I told you not to do it. Told you to aim it.
And Exploits, it just seemed like he was kind of lost in a sense, right? He didn't know where to help middle bridge. He saw Cells, who actually got 2 downs. Cells got 2 downs from the water steps, and that all happened because Exploits did not pressure up on him, but he also didn't land the shots that were needed towards the mid bridge. He didn't do anything impactful in that round, which has to change.
And I feel like the comms aren't there for Rebel because somebody should be calling out that I got 2 high side and I got 2 low side. That call out never came out unless Handles was that delayed in his push. Rebel should have get the bow, had a 4v4, and just be passive. Let Exploits work. You can trust on him. They will get the power weapons this time around once again, but they're going to give up the nades and the snipe and take a slower round. Assails being aggressive once again, looking for fights, knowing that Handles has his back. Well, he's going to put himself in a position to watch over his duo.
Yeah, the only thing right now, though, Blaze, that I did notice as the dust does settle, I don't think they actually got the pickup of frag grenades off. I think Exploits knew that some trickery was going to happen in the water, and that was his main focal point. Because you give up the frags while everybody's staggering back, you're basically giving them an opportunity to kind of fluster you, to kind of flush you out of those nooks and crannies. So it's going to be interesting to see what strategy that Pioneers run to get Exploits' focus off of those frags.
You know what? Honestly, the only play that you can do is, I was gonna say, I want to see Monkeys just drop a bow up top, just ricochet it off the wall one time for the culture. He'll rotate under the bridge. I like that play. Handles finds a kill on Crack. Great headshot, but you see Mono on a flank. He gets a bow kill, 3v3. He'll push up mid bridge. Oh, Handles wasn't ready for it. He's not ready for it. He's stunned in this moment. Shotty comes out. Bronny with a big kill. Bronny says, yo, don't worry about it. I got you.
Bronny's ready to hunt him down. Assails, who is waiting patiently for Exploits on the other side of the map, finally joins the fray. 3-1, the Pioneers are firing back. And after that close matchup in map number 1, that was probably the wake-up call that they needed.
Yeah, that was a huge wake-up call. I love how the Pioneers is taking the game a little bit slower. They know how important this map is. They cannot find themselves down 0-2 against Rebel. Here we go into the next round. I just want to see, Rebel had all the advantages right there, but I don't know why Monkeys was like kind of playing up on that mid-bridge by himself at the time. He needed some help from Cardi a little bit quicker. Distract these players. Crack versus Bronny. Looking like a Bronny win, but it's a Crack win as he comes out to stun first. Cardia looking to get the shots down low on Zysho, but he can't get out enough damage. Crack went high side, I think. He's looking towards Handles. Oh, there you go on the mid-bridge back cover. It's a 3v2 for Rebel in a much-needed round. Handles, what can you do? I'm looking towards you.
Yeah, it's going to be... This is the only 1v1 you're really going to get. And Handles immediately gets shut down, putting the pressure on to Zysho. With the torque bow, though, he needs a cheeky torque bow to start this one off. And this is the perfect time to do it because he lands this. That's 2 different 1v1s, but Crack doesn't even give him a chance. 49 seconds, no matter how long that felt, as Rebel is trying to claw their way back to a tie game.
All right, Rebel almost on even playing field here with Pioneers in this map. 1 round to go. Let's see what strat we're going to get coming off. After the first 5 rounds, I want to see if the Pioneers is going to do something to stop this torque bow, but I don't know if they're worried so much about it just yet. We saw Rebel get some kills with it, but they haven't made a lot of plays. No one's going to play for it off the start. It's a 2-2. Crack got up first. Crack could get the first blood. Exploit says, you better scope in, young blood, as he'll take the first kill. Cardia finds the 1v1. No, sorry, Sales found the 1v1, but he'll get cleaned up by Crack and Cardia on the mid-bridge. And we're all tied up once again, chat.
If for strategies right now, Bronny right there towards the middle bridge, he's landing a good flash to stun himself, and I do believe that is Crack. It's the secondary flash that's coming through from Cardia more times than not that's really turning the tides because it's being dodged by Crack. Crack knows exactly that when his teammate's throwing it, Cardia is communicating that well to him, and he's doing a good job of bouncing around, making sure more times than not that Bronny is the only player falling victim.
Free mid-bridge for Crack.
Oh, trick strat.
There's the bow. Do you want to get the nades while the smoke is there? He does not. I thought that would have been a great play. He'll drop back. Is Exploit going to be able to call out the snipe for him? Because that's a huge call out. You say, hey, snipe high side, get the nades. Okay, don't play around. Pick them up quick. But we're looking to see how players are rotating around the map. Some cheeky angles there from Exploits. He'll move on up to the mid-bridge. Zysho should be able to... He could flank if he wants to, but he doesn't have that intel. He doesn't know how many players are watching back. Who's towards the low side, and it's really the player on the low side. And they're actually going to stack 2. That's a smart play coming out from Rebel. Just make sure you got.
I feel like you know as well as I do, though. With a good pair of Astro headsets, you're hearing that clunk in the water.
Yeah, you hear all of it.
Yeah, so that's why you see Zysho minimizing his movements, only moving when he has to. They don't know his exact location, but you can see the way Exploits is trying to angle his camera, the way they have another player sitting back in the form of, I think that's Cardia. They know somebody's floating around. They just don't know the exact location.
Yeah, that's why, especially these players in the water, they can just walk around and not be heard. But as soon as they start sliding, roadie running, reloading guns, all of those sound cues, their opponents can hear them with their Astro headsets. All right. We're coming down towards the overtime hill. 30 seconds left. Will it be in water? It might be the way that Zysho's not giving up this spot. You also got the snipers there. Still, those nades never got picked up. No one's getting the number call outs in the beginning of the game. Those nades can't be on the ground this late into it because you could have had 2 sets by now.
Cardia trying to make a play for that middle bridge. Barely misses that torque bow that was dished out by Bronny. Number 2 getting dished out as well. No connections just yet. Overtime about to pop in a 4v4 blaze. This is about to get chaotic.
Crack gives up a kill. Cardia can't do... Oh, Cardia does get 1. To 1v1. Oh, Handles with the clutch. Where's the headshot? Is it coming? Oh my! Oh my! Handles, can you save the day? No, he can't. What a round! Rebel 3 in a row. They'll take the lead.
That last bounce, please. That last bounce really did him in. Because if he doesn't bounce to the right, either walks forward or bounces forward. Exactly.
He went to the
would
left.
at least got the reset, but look how perfect this was. First down by Zysho. Monkeys cleans up the second one. Great play by Zysho overall, but that was the flank right there because Handles and Bronny stayed so far back. They had to go in one by one.
He goes, look, right, left. Yeah, you called it right, left.
That right, left one.
Nah, you got to just get in there. But here we go, squared up. Body shot. Kill coming through. Double kill for Crack. Rebel looking to get this on map. Point. Crack gets 3. Here we go. 4 in a row.
That's a huge deflator. A round like that underneath the middle bridge, that's a deflator. That's a round you should not lose. Close proximity, able to get crossed out as Exploits landing that first shot, making Crack's job that much easier. Handles with a quick fake, no bait gonna be taken, and Crack really cementing himself in this matchup, being the first to middle bridge and being one of the last ones alive each and every round.
All right. Here we go. This could be possibly the last round in this map. No one's playing for bow. Actually, I take that back. Rebels playing for the bow. No one's getting sniped. They went back to their 2-2. They got the call-outs this time around, and now they're going to probably play a little bit more aggressive. Handles just took a late route. They picked it up. Oh, he gets the headshot on Cardia. Better late than never.
That was down low. That was a great distraction. They got the torque bow on the side of Rebel. They tried to push up. Them pushing up was ultimately their demise as Handles goes back to back. Lands one on Crack.
There you
Map
go.
point for Rebel. Doesn't look like it's going to come to fruition just yet, but a 4v2 is still to ensue with the Pioneers having a great advantage.
There you go. I want to see Handles needs to just say, hey, I'm picking it up every round. You got to play around me. You know what I'm saying? Hey, let me just grab it. It seems like it's some indecisiveness on the strategy off the start for the Pioneers on how they want to play this Canals, but Handles with 2 headshots in a round put them in a great position, but they got to deal with Mono and Exploits with a snipe and a twerk bow in their hands, Jacob. They're going to play the high side.
Better wait for overtime.
Exploits needs a 1v1, right? He needs to find it. He tried it. He calls out the splash damage. Yeah, he'll put it. Was it worth?
Okay. No, probably not.
Sales got the headshot even after he bowled him. But that headshot may have saved him from splash damage, right? Sales could have ran him and got a double kill, so valid.
V3 now.
Get your 1v.
We've seen Exploits do this before. Oh, they're respecting him. Look at this respect. Look at this respect, Blaze. This is this type of respect that you command. I feel it.
Woo, you damn right I do.
I did not expect the frag. I thought he was about to clutch up.
Yo, I really did too. Once he got the first headshot, he took back just a little bit so he wasn't exposed to Handles, but he was getting that reload and he was ready for that next guy to push him, okay? Great effort there from Exploits, but you see why he commands the respect from his peers in the league. Even if it's a 1v3, 1v4, you got to take it slow against a player like him. So we move into round number 10. Can the Pioneers get it tied up? We're about to find out. Handle says, I got it. Doesn't go for the 1v. He'll take it high side right away. Monkey's in trouble. He'll stay alive. Down low. 2 free kills. They get 1. No, they don't. Is the body shot coming in? Crack says, I don't need it. I don't need it. 3v2 for the win.
That's where Handles is feeling a lot of that pressure right now, trying to move up, sneak a shot towards the side. I do believe he was kind of spotted out, or at least they have an inkling of a feeling that he's on that side of the map. And this is the thing that's interesting. These 2 players of Pioneers are so far separated. They're going to have to try to get together. Acel's trying to make a play. Great shots on the Monkeys, but he cannot do it alone. He went ahead and tried to push it by himself. Body shot's going to be hit by Handles. The world on his shoulders, unable to get that victory, and Rebels shut him out 6-4.
Shut him out 6-4, but the series isn't over with yet. 2-0 lead for Rebel. And the best sharpshooter in the game right there. Exploits 7-4-3. 7,000 damage to his name, but straight kills coming out for him, making big plays for the Rebel forces. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, we got to head on over to Vascar and see who can fly away with this. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Gears Summer Major as we are in our last pool play match of the day between Rebel and the Pioneers. As check this out, Rebel up 2-0, looking to make it a quick 3-0 to end the night and shut down John's perfect prediction record. Jacob, talk about a feat that'll be.
That's actually a good one right there. Shut down the prediction record. And it obviously goes to show that no one can be perfect, especially in a game like Gears of War. But I keep quoting Star Wars right now. The way that Rebel is just taking down the Pioneers, it's like they're playing like bots. And it's like these aren't the droids you're looking for in the form of Rebel and taking over this matchup. And I absolutely love it because right now it just seems like no matter what goes wrong for Rebel, they have an answer for it at all times.
Yeah, they truly do. They truly do. If not, they'll give them some time. They'll find an answer. Okay, they're being very proactive over there. No monkey's business is happening in this series. All right, I'll tell you that one.
And I think what he's able to do is take so much focus and pressure onto him.
Yeah,
that's alleviate. Look at what Crack was able to do in that last game, going to middle bridge each and every time Alara Lucardia. There was a couple of strats to try to focus on the monkeys. You called too high side, not grabbing sniper. They're putting so much focus onto that man.
Yeah,
it's opening up different avenues, different ways for the rest of the roster to make things work. And people forget this roster has been, or at least most of these players have been in the finals before, getting second place on numerous occasions.
It's so important to have a player like that on your team, right? A player who can be able to focus so much attention towards them, okay? Focus one or two guys that have to start making call-outs, figuring out how to take them out, because you're going to leave a man advantage elsewhere on the map. You're going to leave a play for one of his teammates. And as you got exploits or even monkeys attracting that attention, you got Crack and Cardia saying, oh, okay, I'm good on the flank. I'm coming to help. We are quick. No one ever fights alone. Even if you think you're going to isolate Rebel, you got to take those fights quickly. If not, the entire cavalry is coming.
Yeah, because what I also like about this Rebel roster is, and it goes into what you said about taking those fights quickly, is whether it's a right move or a wrong move, they're very, very quick to react, and they're on the same page, and that's why I said they figure out these answers along the way. Oh, that didn't work? We're going to try this instead. We're going to do that different, and they're very, very quick to make that decision. But I feel like that's been the Latin American teams for the most part. When the game first came out, it was Ghost Gaming. For a while, it was the Fire Knights, Noble Squad, and now it's this Rebel roster taking their turn, trying to be the top team in LatAm.
Hey, if we know anything about LatAm teams, they know how to fight. They want to fight, okay? Those players win so many shotgun battles, but, at the end of the day, hey, when it comes down to it, you got to perform. You got to perform. I had another thought in there that I was going to say, but I forgot about it, but it'll come back to me towards the matchup. So far, Rebel's good, but Pioneers, all right? I said if it was any map in this cycle I was favoring them for, it was going to be Vascar, okay? Why? Because of their past history on Vascar. Now, Rebel has had some past woes on this map, probably as an organization, but this is a different team. So it's hard for me to even talk about past Rebels when they've all been so vastly different. This Rebel version is the best version of the squad that we've ever seen with monkeys on a team, okay? Everybody understands their role, and, we got a chance to see it during the Pro League a few weeks ago. Just anytime a snipe or M-bar came up, everybody said, hey, exploits here. Anytime a bow came up, hey, Crack, go do your thing. Anytime it was 1v1s that needed to happen, anytime it was places that needed to get anchored, Cardi was there. Anytime you need a leader, damage, someone in the fight, Monkeys was there. Everyone plays their role so well on this team and understands what they got to do, but they're also selfless, right? They also will play somebody else's position. They'll do what needs to get done. And so this Rebel team is definitely the best version of that the org has ever had. Now, this Pioneers team, they've won a championship. This is a championship team that Rebel's playing up against. But Jacob, if you had to look back on them, when would you say we've seen that championship form of Pioneers? Was it a Saturday in a spring major? Because they haven't looked good ever since.
It was a while.
Yeah.
It was definitely a while. You can see that when they were in their glory days, when they were building that legacy for the roster, they were on the game every single day. Wagers, ranked, whether it's 1v1s, 2v2s, 3v3s, they always found themselves putting in the work because they have that passion. I'm not going to say they lost the passion by any means, but I feel like they lost a little bit of their work ethic. And we've seen it throughout this split. One of their worst placings so far. A lot of different strategies that just aren't working out. You could see them being on different pages and just looking like they're lost at times, which is really, really alarming because how good they were. I feel like at one point or another, they could have argued that they recreated the meta, and now it's just falling short almost every single battle. So this is going to be a huge backdoor sweep if they do take the series, and a huge start to a possible nether victory, because if they fall short here to Rebel, I think they're going to go to bed tonight with a little bit of doubt in their hands and a little bit of things in their mind tomorrow, figuring out what do we need to do, because I don't think they have the full answer just yet.
I don't think they do either. Rebel, and sorry, not Rebel, but Pioneers. Haven't looked at that full form. One thing is that they wanted to be a dynasty, right? And we talked about the dynasty of Handles and Sales for multiple majors in a row as they were winning all the Astro battles. They were winning all the majors. They get a different team comp. We're like, oh, they're not looking too good. Handles and Sales shuts everybody down with their teamos. Then you bring Zyshel into the team and they look unbeatable. Absolutely unbeatable. But now they have taken a step back. And so in order to be a dynasty, you gotta clutch up. Right? You could talk about all the rotations, the communication. We were talking about how they set the meta. They set the meta. They know the meta, okay? And so if you want to be a dynasty, you got to have the work ethic to be a dynasty. You can't have excuses. You can't be arguing with your teammates. You got to get in there, lock it down, make the play, make the kill. And we've seen those attempts, right? We've seen the Cells out there turning up, okay? Putting this team in the best possible positions ever. They all as a unit, though, need to be playing like that, okay? Playing for each other. If Pioneers do that, they can win three straight maps in a row in quick succession. So, hey, now's the time. Giddy up. All right. I want to hear that gallop.
There's one thing I feel like we haven't talked at. I don't think I heard the analysts talk about it when it comes to the Pioneers. And I know I haven't mentioned it because it just popped in my head. If you go ahead and take a step back and think about their glory days, right? I was actually talking to somebody maybe yesterday, the day before, something like that. He called me on FaceTime. MLG Great. He was the first coach for this roster.
Yep.
He was talking to me about he was the main focal point when it came to accountability. He trusted these guys for gears. He trusted these guys for strategy, but he made sure that if somebody was out of line, he put them right back in, right? You trade him out. You bring in Jackal. The same exact thing. It wasn't necessarily strategy that they specialized in. It was accountability. It was making sure that their players stayed focused. Jackal is out. You bring in another person to stand behind him, and there's so many different problems and inconsistencies. I'm not going to blame it on one person, but that goes to show that if you have that one guy to hold everybody accountable, things will definitely be smoother.
I'll say this, coaches don't get enough love, okay? And when the Pioneers had a great coach, okay, and had a coach that was a Jackal, all right, they dominated everybody. Without that, they look like a shell of themselves. They don't have the fifth man that they need. And if they had that, I do think we'll see a different version of the Pioneers. All right, but it's one thing, it's a talking point. But give love to those coaches out there who keep these players accountable. Exploits, first blood on the Cells. Handles tried to respond, but Exploit says, you gotta sit down. I need to save my teammates. He'll get them both up. They'll move on over towards the Sea Hill and start rotating back to their home to be able to hold this setup, looking for Bronny and Zyshel as they're on the flank. Damage is there on Bronny. The flash will connect. The down is there. Zyshel getting pressed in the spawn, but he's able to take down Mono, but Crack will finish off that kill. It's going to be Rebel on the charge towards B as they defend their home.
Yeah, but already you could see, I don't know if Handles got the call out from Cells or what, but he made a mad dash through the center of the map. Now they have two people over there directly, two more people rotating to try to go ahead and take the numbers advantage while they can, but a quick shutdown. Handles is going to fall. Monkeys with the revive. Back-to-back elims for Rebel. Make it 3 in a row. Zyshel is going to be the only one left, and already Rebel have 2 hills to 1 and threatening for a third.
Yeah, great attempt by Cells. I think if his flash hits, he may be able to come away with 2 right there, but just missed it, and he had to commit. Trip Cat is being threatened, but successfully negated by the Pioneers as they will get their home hill back. And now rushing to A. Exploits missed a big shot there on the Cells, and he'll pay for it. A hill lost, but player 3. All right, Crack on the other side of the map. He says, hey, we're good. Ain't nobody gonna get to the B hill. Watch mid map. No one's getting past me. I got marks. I know where all 4 players are. Just let me know when I need to make a move. He doesn't want to show his numbers just yet. The support fires there. Handles goes down. The kill on Cardio was cleaned up. 2v2. You're gonna have Zyshel and the Cells going up against Monkeys and Exploits. Monkeys, as he took a good shot over that cover, Jacob. Exploits has to get back down. Monkeys got to take over. He says, this is me. But the Cells with a beautiful back A to clean up and a double kill from Exploits to save him.
that was just huge, and you can already see those two players extending on the other side of the map. Crack, it's trying to buy as much time as possible because he even knows holding on to this forever is going to be impossible. It's about the time that you're getting with no points being scored by the Pioneers as 2 hills to none. Everything being decapped though. Only 1 hill scored Rebel points, and it comes down to this battle. No eliminations just yet. Everybody on the side of Rebel will fall. This late in the game, that's going to open it up for Pioneers to their own triple cap domination.
Wow, talk about a demoralizing finish right there on the side of Rebel. Great round from the Pioneers, and you know what, let me not even say it from the negative side, right? But you know, actually it's not even negative. It's just the fact that we saw Rebel about to get the domination there until they just completely collapsed. It was a great round for them up until the start. It was close, but in the end, I thought Pioneers were behind by a good amount, and it was looking slow for them. In the end, they find a way to get it done. So good round in them, but it was hard fought. It was hard fought. Just one mistake by Rebel.
Yep.
But don't you love that about escalation? One mistake, a team can take over. You can't make mistakes.
Yeah, it just goes to show that like there's a lot of little mistakes that do happen in the game, and as casters, we don't necessarily harp on a lot of those little mistakes. But it goes to show that one wrong mistake at the wrong time is going to cost you a round, no matter how many points you're able to score.
Here we go into round number 2. Looking at the mini map, each squad will run a 3-1 in opposite directions, but you'll see Pioneers turn around and start going counterclockwise so they can meet the fight at their home hill. But Rebel already decapping multiple flashes. The focus fire, the revives is there. They should be able to cap the A hill. Oh, they're going all up in the spawn. He says, yo, we know you don't got no spawn shield. We don't care what kind of help you got. Crack says, yo, get my revive. I'm coming up out of here. On the flip side, player 5, Bronny overextended to the home hill to decap C. It's a good position here for Pioneers, and if player 4 didn't want to fight that 1v1, this could come down to another trip cap depending on how Pioneers plays this off the respawn. Look at that. They got Rebel collapsed on the A hill. Pioneers in a power position when Rebel was so aggressive off the start. They kind of got themselves in a trap for being so passive.
Bronny wins the 1v1 across the map.
Oh,
he's gonna try to bleed him dry. Doesn't want to let him get the touch, and they do. They lost it yet again, going so deep into the spawn. It was looking so good there for a moment, plays, but back-to-back rounds by the Pioneers. I said it last round. That's got to be a real deflator.
All love the Bronny on that round. 1 kill, the most important one. Okay. And he had 1 kill, 1 assist, and I think the other one was a down, and he got 2 in that round somewhere, or maybe it was somewhere in the other. But he was able to, he had patience on the flank, won his 1v1s at C, and since Rebel can never get on the same page to say, hey, let's decap and run up out of here, instead they held what they want, they held what they got. But even if they won that fight, right, like, you still have to go capture the B hill across on the other side of the map. So they didn't have a position for a domination, and they got to find a way to get out of there or take that 2v1 on the other side of the map. All right? So here we go. Sending love to everybody out there as we're heading into round number 3. Currently, Rebel, they're going to lose their players towards the B hill, and the Pioneers taking it slow, Jacob. They say, hey, we just want to pinch them. They don't want to fight. They haven't been trying to fight us. They've been trying to play too smart for their own good. So Pioneers got Rebel in another trap yet again.
For Rebel to make a mistake, because that's what they did the past 2 rounds. One mistake costed Rebel 2 different times, but Exploits is trying to put those mistakes to rest. 2 straight kills, forcing Zysho back. On the other side of the map, though, Bronny trying to be sneaky, and that's up to Monkeys really to spot that one out because he hears the communication. Only 3 players on the other side of the map, so he may not know where Bronny's exactly at, but he knows he's floating around trying to be a sneaky fella.
Yeah, trying to be really sneaky. We'll see how it pays off for him. It's going to be Pioneers getting their home hill back. Player 5, Bronny. Can he take his 1v1 again? But the 2v2 fighter sells with a big shot on Crack. Didn't get enough pistol damage. Bronny under siege, and he'll be losing a battle there toward 2 Monkeys as Monkeys gets a chance to rotate through a spawn and make a dash to the B hill. This is where things get to shake up a bit, okay? Pressure on the Pioneers once again. It's been a while over the last 3 rounds. Well, we'll say last, half round, and, the beginning of this one, 2 in total over 3. Anywho, you'll got, you see, he goes right past the B hill, couldn't cap it, or just chose not to decap it there in that situation.
Yep, they were gonna try to go for elims. They got the down on the one, but Bronny just sneaks him, ending and calling that play dead realistically, because that would have been a huge flank for Monkeys. He's able to solidify that one and execute it to perfection as Cardia getting back down. A lot of damage is there. Exploits with the trade, which is gonna save Cardia's life for that moment, but Zysho follows up, completing that down, keeping Pioneers with 2-1 advantage and with a 30-point lead in counting.
Pioneers feeling good for the first time in this series. Let's see if they can stay here on a high life. Bronny, beautiful shot there on Monkeys, but he's getting flanked. He gets some help from his teammates. No meat shield for Bronny. He says, I need my shotty out. I plan on getting a second kill in quick succession. Cardia got other plans. Cardia got other plans. Cardia says, I'll go this way into my death. Exploits hops down to his death, and that's a Pioneers round. Where's Jacob? Right there. What is just in hold? What does Rebel need to do? We see them taking some good fights and in some good positions, but where are they falling short?
I feel like they're just overextending at the very last seconds. They're trying to close out triple cap dominations when they could do exactly what the Pioneers are doing. What you noticed the Pioneers did right out of the gates, I feel like you might have called it out, but I know you at least thought it. They're just gathering the score. 2-1. They're forcing Rebels with their back up against the wall to make a play, and Rebel needs to follow suit. Be content by getting points and force them to make a mistake. It's like when you're playing basketball where you kind of give up the 3-point shot, forcing them to make that play.
Yeah, there you go. I love the analogy. Now we head here into round number 4. Rebel showing how good of a defensive team they are. Also, their awareness of having an advantage, right? They're always in their opponent's head. They know when their opponent is feeling desperate and they want to make a push and then they want to make something happen. And Rebel, they set perfect traps. Sorry, Pioneer sets perfect traps for Rebel, as you'll see one right there on your screen on the side of the tank. Great flag, shock placement, great shot placement from Bronny as well. And the sniper in the hands, putting out the body shots. Cardia, where you going? Bronny with a double. Exploits with spawn shield for just a bit. He was looking.
I thought he found an angle.
Yeah, you know an angle I don't know about.
He was saving it for the mage at the last moment, but that's what you call at least thinking outside of the box. He saw the mark and immediately tries to scope in, seeing what can I work with across the map. Misses that shot very narrowly, but once again, the information, the spot, the mark that he's given up over to Bronny and handles on the other side of the map.
All right, now as cells will have help here from Zysho behind them. Bronny and Handles on the other end of the map controlling the B hill. And these are those defensive positions that Pioneers have been in all throughout the map. Oh my God!
What is he doing though?
I'm gonna catch a gospel up in here, Jacob. Don't hit no one else, okay? The way that the cell's been playing, he playing with a chip on his shoulder. Okay, he already got like 4, and they heavy. Okay, and it shows in the gameplay. We'll have a lag out here.
Round wasn't winnable anyway.
It was.
Round wasn't winnable anyway. He had the sniper. Cardia, even though he was kind of tossed in that smoke, you know, wheeling it around, it was basically over with anyway. That was going to be a hard push against a Cells with a sniper. Even if he doesn't get a headshot, he's going to hit the body shot, switch to his shock, and try to finish it off. 4-0 though. Even though it's going to be a little bit of a downtime, a kind of technical pause of sorts for Rebel, I got to ask you, Blaze, with all the experience you have, what should Rebel be communicating to each other? What should be their focal point for a comeback?
Man, you know, if I'm on Rebel's team, right, and, you know, I'm in that camp, I'm just letting these guys know, especially when you're down 4 on this map, you don't want to overthink it anymore, right? This is where you got to get loose, because I felt like they was overthinking it from the start, and it had them playing slow, you know? One thing that I loved about Rebel in map number 2 and map number 1, they were very decisive on their fights, right? And what I wanted to say, that point that I forgot earlier, was a decisive Rebel is a scary Rebel, okay? That was the point that I said I wanted to make, and I'm not seeing that same decisiveness, all right? We saw it, I believe it was round 2 or 3, where they got trapped, and they had 3 people on top of their opponent's home hill, and they were in the most difficult position when they looked so good off the start of the game, all because at some point they says, hey, just slow it down, let's not take the fight, or, you know, let's rely more on our 1v1 player to go out there and win that 1v. But your key to success is your team fights playing together. Don't rely on the 1vs, okay? Stay to those Wolfpack strategies. Rebel puts out damage very, very quickly, and when they're together, it's almost like they're shooting one unified sawed-off shotgun. Anything in their path gets chunked. Decisive Rebel, we need that.
And on the flip side, though, I feel like the Pioneers need to close this out sooner rather than later. You don't want to allow this Rebel roster to start getting on the same page, to start to get things flowing like they did on maps number 1 and maps number 2. You want to end it quick so these same mistakes that are happening here on Escalation have the chance to happen on Control in the next map. Because it's still a King of the Hill. There's still going to be wild plays, respawns coming in, and a bunch of action, one fight after the next. So for them, I want to see them kind of end it 5-0, move on to the next map, let the momentum keep flowing, and force a map 5 after that.
Our observer gave us a look at one of the most historic teams that we've seen throughout Gears 4 and Gears 5, and we don't have the organization in the major, but I feel like it's a great time to give Hive a shout out. Hive a shout out for being a great community org here in Gears Esports, and we appreciate all the fun times you and the org brought to the community. So, no more Hive roster out there, but that Hive community was a special one.
It definitely was. And they were one of the few teams that may not have been a major championship blaze. They got that mid-split playoff under the belt, and it was still the best of the best teams competing at the time.
Top 3.
I used to call it a mini-major type thing.
Hey, our last major event, Hive got top 3, and they were 1 round away from going to the grand finals up against Reciprocity. But instead, it was a Reciprocity versus Pittsburgh Knights grand finals in Mexico City, March of 2020. It was the last time we saw each other, Jacob. No, it wasn't the last time we saw each other.
Not
us, but it was the last time I saw Colin. It was the last time I saw a few other people, and an entire Gears fam. But since then, we've had a long COVID season. And I wish you was here today. I could get a chance to mess with you in person. And I'll be bullying
after I saw that breadstick get thrown.
I was about to say, did you see John earlier? I had to come up here,
that
be the bodyguard.
I don't even know if it was a segment. That was just great. Whatever it was happened. After this, I'm going to go back and rewatch it all because I missed some portions. But as soon as I saw the breadstick get thrown out, then Fallout try and eat it, and you're trying to play security, and Reflections has no idea what's going on and how to stop it, I got to go back and rewatch it.
Hey, man, Colin made the funniest joke during that segment and had me dying. I was working on my computer, and I just looked to the right, and I said, what is going on? How did John make it on broadcast?
Last mistake.
So let me go in here and get the brother. You have to just use some grown man strength, pick him up, carry him out of here.
Blue on blue, jerk.
It was all fun and games, though. All fun and games. It was perfect. All right, here we go. So we are going to have a reset here, but as you guys saw before we left, okay, Mono did join the game, so we'll be getting this one restarted momentarily. But if not, hey, guess what? We got a few other matches to watch, but as I'm looking at it, it is going to be not that long of a wait. As Colin said earlier, the beauty is that we get to always watch the games and know when they're about to start compared to being at home waiting and just talking to the chat.
Just trying to look deep into your eyes and figure out, Blaze, when is the game start? Where's Colin? Can you start the game like Colin does?
Start the game!
Game's already started.
Oh my God, it worked!
It worked! I really thought Goalie was going to get him. I thought Goalie was going to get Colin when he started throwing stuff at the camera.
Wow.
I was going to see something fly back at Colin.
Here we go into the 5th round of this matchup. Double kill for Sales once again. Him and Bronny working together. It's going to be a dash to the F hill, and Pioneers, they are happy with this setup. Also, Pioneers in the second half are going to be on the most advantageous side of the map more times than not. That's going to be the swarm spawn in the top left-hand corner of your mini-map. Why? That D hill. You get a nice little height advantage looking towards the tank. You get a lot of power weapons there, as we saw the snipe being placed in the last round. But also, you get to keep your back to the wall and look at your opponent's home hill at F. You don't have to worry about people behind you and just keep your sights in front of you. You see player 6. He has his 1v1 on D. The 3v3 at F. Down on exploits. The headshot doesn't come through, but he's doubled down. He should be able to get revived in the cover safely. 1v1. Monkeys didn't take a good enough shot. He charges these, Jacob, and he needs to.
Yeah, you saw him sneaking up inch by inch on the other side of the map while the whole play was going down, and he could no longer trust his team to go and get the break because he has to do it himself. He's single-handedly willing them back into the game, keeping them alive and getting that triple cap domination. Only if it could have happened just a little bit sooner, particularly in the first 2 rounds.
Beautiful 1v1 right there by Monkeys. Honestly, I'll be honest, I didn't see the trip cap coming because I looked at the feed. I saw multiple downs coming through here for the Pioneers as Monkeys had to challenge that 1v1. But by the time he won it, he had teammates off the respawn, had a few players rotate back, and they were all set up to get the F hill back in their favor. Great round from Rebel, but can they make the 5-round comeback? It's a tough task. I don't know if it'll be this map, but man, after that last round, they are trying. Here we go.
They do get the comeback. It's destiny. They're willing themselves back into this one.
A big fight.
Possibly the major as a whole. And there goes 2 eliminations. Brawny handles both shut down. 2 more directly in sight. But they're forced to disperse. Zysho and his teammate going 2 different directions in order to try to survive.
I love the dodge from Monkey. The fake to the right, cuts to the left, finishes off the fight. Sniper in the hands of Exploits. He gets deep. He's watching the left. He says, do it. He missed.
Ooh.
That's a dub. Oh no! It was too slow.
Because,
a 1v1 one by
they missed the shot.
Because he missed the shot. That's why he missed the round. But now they're all up in the spawn. Rightfully so. They take down Zysho, but Brawny free shots. You got to hit that shot, Exploits. He says, hold up, I'm going to get him. I see him. I got him. Don't worry. He's marked
Probably
up.
counting in the back of his head. Like, I got to get that spawn shield. It's like 7 seconds, 8 seconds, something like that. I know Colin knows for sure. But that's actually very, very smart. And you can see him using his brain, not wasting the shots, even though he does miss that one. A couple players are going to be marked out. They hits the ones that matter. Handles is going to be down. Tries to go back-to-back, but a lot of damage is being put right back on him. The eliminations are being cleaned up all simultaneously. If they get this Blaze, that'll be a triple cap domination.
Brawny ain't having it, though. He is not having it. You'll see a rush to the E-Hill to try to get a capture. Monkey should be able to get this one and back up, right? He's going to wait to the last second. He can't get it before he gets into the Lancer's crosshairs. He has to back off. But now Brawny knows that, hey, this ain't the best position for me, but he can die and be okay. It's a long journey to the other side of the map. That's not a bad death for Brawny. At the end of the day, Pioneers, they're in a great spot to get closer to having that lead, but they won't win the game. They don't have the win condition. Also, Rebel knows that it is no time to get comfortable on one hill. You do not turtle up on one. Keep looking for your numbers and taking your fights. But it's getting scary for Rebel in this round because they have to take a 2v1 against Player 7. They have to get to the E-Hill, but they choose to cap up D. Player 7 will run away. They'll hold the high ground. There's the downs, the team kill from Zysho, but a perfect flank from Brawny, 1v1. Now turned into a 1v2 that Brawny can't get out of. And the one hill capture stays for Rebel. And they looking good.
Yeah. I thought Acel was going to have a chance, but yeah, it stays for Rebel. And that's just the thing. They're clawing back into it. And that's exactly why I wanted to see Pioneers shut them down. Because let's just say right now, 2 straight rounds from Rebel. Pioneers end it right here. At least they fought back from being down 4 rounds to none. At least they gave themselves hope going into map number 4.
A little bit of hope. But Pioneers, that hope ain't fully coming through for them just yet. Because this map ain't over. This map ain't over, Jacob. And I ain't gonna lie to you. I hope every series goes to a map 5. All right? I'm trying to cast gears as long as we can. All right? I don't know how long I'm gonna continue to cast. All right, so we need to
figure out a way to bring it to Monday.
Yeah, right. Monday night gears. Oh man, Monday night fight night was a thing. Did we have fight on Wednesday night fight night? I forgot. It was Wednesday.
It was Wednesdays, yeah.
Yeah, Wednesdays was some of my favorite days of the
Mondays?
week. Monday was 2K. Challengers, yeah.
Challenger Mondays, yeah. The 2K, the finish. Oof.
Yeah.
We really had gears 7 days a week at one point.
We truly did. And that wasn't too long
roll
ago.
over.
It wasn't too long ago. But chat, we're not trying to put you in a Fields trust, okay? We're saving that for Sunday. Right now, it's all about the action of this group play. As we're in our last series, we've had some of the closest competition in group play ever throughout our events, and this series is not disappointing. Our entire analyst desk full of experts voted the Pioneers to take this series. All 3 of them did. And, you know, it's not looking good for those prediction records. Everyone's going to have an L after this is looking like, but we're going to have to hold up for a second. Got a pause here on the side of... We don't know which side it's going to be. So, one of these players, I think this is...
I see 2 moving.
I think this is one on the side of the Pioneers, but nonetheless, we'll get back into this one as soon as possible, everyone.
Handles are Brawny.
Hey, you know, I tell it to you like this, man. Rebel, every time we got a pause, they come back and get 2 rounds, so we may be good for round number 9. According to
charging the battery.
Exactly, right?
Every single time. They're on 10% right now. They would have ran out of gas blaze, but this pause is allowing them to charge right back. And they got one of them quick chargers too, so it's not like they're going to just get 5%. They're going from 10% straight up to 50 off of this break.
So, Jacob, my question for you is that over the last 2 rounds that Rebel have been able to put together and stay in this map, what did you like from them?
Honestly, it's the aggression. It's the same thing that I'm liking every time that they do it around, because even though you do see those first 2 rounds that went to the wayside, that Pioneers were able to kind of sneak them away, it's exactly what I told you. Whether it's the right move or the wrong move, they're just constantly wolf packing around. They're constantly staying hip to hip to make sure to finish off on a lot of the damage. And then they have monkeys on the other side of the map playing a lot of the solo situations like we expected, because there's very few players in the game right now, or in the history, I could even add that one, that can stop monkeys consistently in a 1v1 situation.
Yeah, very few people can. And, you know, monkeys is very aggressive in his 1v1s, right? Like, once he sees you, he will keep trying to put in damage. He'll keep trying to press you.
You see his cheekiness?
Yeah, right? What are you trying to do? Get this back A over the top of the cover?
Yeah, and it's working.
Yeah, no, like that little shot with the little pistol shot to the chest.
Well, they're using the pistol, but that's doable with the shotgun. Then, if they can
exactly.
Do it with
if you can shoot one bullet from the pistol, you can get a full spread with the shotty over the cover. Don't ask me how the physics work. I still don't know. But I don't think anyone does. We do.
After what I've seen today with Detox, with the melee over the cover, through it even, and then stuff like this. Wait, this is the stuff I used to love to do. You know what I mean?
Hop into the map and just start figuring out angles.
Exact angles, invisible inks. There was actually a spot on this one, Colin knows, where if you have the ensigns on one side of the map, you could throw it all the way over the tank, and they either have to move into a spot that gives you the advantage, or they get instant ensign taken out. It takes a little bit to line up and perfect, but once you got it down, that is such a useful incendiary.
Yo, knee lineups was, like I said, one of my funnest things in privates. Even just trying to come up with invisible ink lineups, all right? Yeah, I'm that nerdy, okay? Invisible ink lineups on Pavilion, tossing them up top in like the little room, okay? Toss them in the bow pit. You just got to line it up over the edge, toss it over. The ink goes over, but the visual, the ink bounces back, and it's an invisible ink on the other side. Just team running into their death.
I'm getting hurt. Where is it? You have to ask your host. Where's the ink?
Where's the ink at? You okay?
You're probably asking Bobby Rice. He's trying to tell you, but you know Bobby, sometimes he's so frantic. He's probably giving some weird information. You're going down in the ink. He's like, I told you.
Oh, man. So many just fun times finding angles on all these maps. And, you know, these players have done the same thing, but it's looking like we are going to be heading back into the map very soon as all of our squads are ready. Here we go. It's round number 8. Round number 7 as Rebel looking to continue to mount this comeback. Let us know in the chat who you representing. Where my Pioneers fans at? Where my Rebel fans at? As you will see, this E-Hill gets negated, but it's also a shock on top of the tank. It won't stop the sniper pickup from Rebel as Monkeys will just drop all the way back. Looking for some shots of his own. He's also telling Exploits, come on, get over here. I got other things I need to do. I want to go to the E-Hill. Says, you know what? This is mine. I'm going to keep it. Let's see what Monkey's
almost like
the scope.
Almost like mirrored strategies.
Oh!
Thought he was about to hit that one on the sniper, but almost like mirrored strategy. Both teams chose to grab their shock and try to throw it on the respective power weapon, but neither one of those was kind of deep enough. It wasn't early enough, so both of those power weapons are going to be able to escape, and that puts the pressure. I think Monkeys might have the upper hand because of the sniper,
the height advantage,
man, you cannot count Bronny out with that torque bow.
Oh, Monkeys can get a cells. He has to take one good shot, though. I think he can get him over the cover. Are you going to look, bro? He says, give me this cover. No, you can do it from the side right there. Yeah, that's all head, dog. All head. Yeah. Yup. Oh, a little bit too slow on the draw. Got some bows there to hold him back. Body shots. Cartier needs help. Oh, they got to respect the bow. I think that was his last bow. Right hand advantage for Cartier. Crack, double down. You also got a flank here for, well, not a flank from Zysho, but Zysho guarding a home hill. He'll be dealing with multiple Rebel members soon as Rebel will use actually the mid-map to reposition. They felt like they were too slow on that rotation for a domination, and they felt like it was a good play, so they'll just hold 2 for now.
Yep. play for the points, force Pioneers into a bad spot, hopefully force them to make a mistake as well, as a couple downs are going to go through, but quick revives for the Pioneers, knowing the situation they're in. Cells under pressure, forced to backtrack into space again. This is narrowed down to 2 different 2v2s, but on one side of the map, they're already getting aggressed on. It has handles, it's going to be the first one going down, and as long as they continue to pressure these players, they're going to have a 4v2 advantage.
Oh, and here comes the pressure towards the spine. You're going to have Monkeys joining the fight as well. Zysho goes down. There's 3 members dead on the side of the Pioneers, and the comeback is not here yet, but it's close. They're knocking on the door for that round number 9. Ever since that snipe got placed down, Jacob, Rebel, they've been feeling good.
So with what you're seeing, you're talking about the snipe going down, Rebel's able to kind of control it. On the other side, though, Bronny didn't really get too many torque bow headshots or torque bow sticks in general. Do you think that the Pioneers need to switch it up, put more focus on the sniper, leave the torque bow to a 1v1, or do you just need to continue doing what they're doing? Because they were up 4-0 at one point.
I don't mind playing for the torque bow, right? I may have liked them putting an M-bar down instead, because I feel like they'll get more value out of it with the 6 shots versus the 5, especially on this map. But when it comes down to it, hey, they chose the bow, but I like it because you don't have to play into Rebel's hands every round if you don't want to, okay? You got other options on the map, but no one's going to play for the bow. It's a 4v4 towards the tank. Rebel does not want to give up the sniper in this round because, Pioneers does not want to give up the sniper because they know how good Rebel has been playing with it. Oh, but they send player 4 over. They says, yo, we'll take this. We don't got to play for the snipe. We'll take anything. But now Pioneers has to make a move. You see Assail's trying to walk in and get the snipe as you got a 2v1 on the opposite side. Oh, he almost gets the clean up, but his teammate's not on the ledge no more. Player 2 had to drop back, but they did actually get the kills. Monkeys gets Assail's from downtown. He'll drop back with his teammate to hold the E-hill, and he's taking his opponent's incendiary grenades from their spawn as well.
This is that monkey business that we're talking about, because he could have easily stayed there, try to get aggressive, and turn things on its side, but I love the decision to backtrack, collect the weapons, and then try to make a team-coordinated effort, even though he's still solo across the map. 2v1 going down. Cardia is able to get that elimination and get the hill back under their control, but Monkey's calling out, I have multiple players here, 3 to be total. I need some help. I need some backup before I go down.
The help, the revive. Crack gets the kill. Crack's looking for more, but he says, Monkeys, just clutch up. I trust you. You got it. Oh, Monkey's trying to... Oh! Talk about getting out with the bag right there. He keeps those 2 bowls in his life, but how important will it be? Well, look at the mini-map. Okay, that's 2 hills that Rebel gets a hold, and they got a power weapon. Their home hill's covered. They got the kills on top of their opponents, and they'll drop back Monkeys, knowing that they got some time at the other end of the map to hold deep, but they cut them back. He says, we got the 3rd off a respawn. We need you right now, Mono. 2 bowls left. He'll blind fire and connect with 1. It was his teammate, actually.
Oh my God, splash damage. I thought that splash damage would have handled it on the other side of the map. It looked like Zysho was about to start playing up, start playing aggressive, but with his teammates going down and with that 1 elimination onto exploits, he knew he was going to get spawned down. So now he has to go back to start, try all over again while his teammates are in a 4v3 trying to survive here. Bronny's doing what he can, but he immediately gets shut down. He strays too far away from Assail, who also gets shut down. The hopes and dreams of this round are flying right out the window.
They just got to hold. They got 2 kills, 10 seconds to the respawn. They're gonna find a second. Can they do it? Rebel fans, now is not the time to be quiet. You better blow that chat up. Pioneers, you gotta defend your boys. Okay, they're hurt. They need all the flags in the air. They need all the hoorahs they can get, because right now they get them put in a stable. 1 round to go for Rebel to complete the comeback and lock this series up in a 3-0 fashion.
I got the cheesiest smile on my face. I'm not going to say it, but 4 straight rounds from the Pioneers to start the game off. Answered back by 4 straight rounds from Rebel. And you said it. That sniper got placed down. It was a whole different ball game. Even with the Pioneers trying to contest him, it was still no match.
All right, Jacob. So one thing is that going into this round, a disable on the nades.
You have to answer back with one, right?
Yeah, you take the shock, or they gon' take that off. Oh, they
4v4?
they lowered the respawn timer on it to 60 seconds. So I said early on that Pioneers had the advantageous side of the map being on the Swarm side, okay? I do still believe that, but how they use this advantage of having a height at the D-Hill, having to have the right-hand advantage at the tank, they take it slow. They play for the 60-second torque bow, and they give up the snipe. A revive should come through for Cardia. He'll be able to get... Oh, he almost takes his head off. Bronny was lost on the down, but this round will slow down as the Pioneers once again in a position that's favorable for them, as they have 2 heals and they're gonna have the torque bow. This is how they won the first 4 rounds, being in positions like this.
Yeah, and I was just thinking though for a moment, the 4 rounds that Rebel was able to win, the torque bow was not impactful at all. Even though I will say it wasn't in the hands of Acels, who immediately goes 1-for-1 with the torque bow. They're setting up 2 different 2v2s. They're really banking on their team effort, their duo-ship to hold on to this victory.
I thought it was a blunder when he put that flash away, but his teammate caught the shock. It was still a blunder because he wasted the flash. Both nades got used at the home hill. Little splash damage there. No body shot, but his team don't need it. They got the numbers, but the E-Hill is open. Rebel takes this fight. They're looking for the third. They should be able to get it. With the player down the stairs, Crack moves in for the 1v. Little bit of splash damage. He melees. He says, I ain't got no ego in this fight. It's about getting this win. The body shot.
That was a massive.
The damage coming out here for Rebel. Yes, Jacob.
I was just saying that body shot was so impactful. 2 hills to 1. They need so much time in order to be able to come back because it is 2 hills to none. A couple of seconds, 60 seconds overall. Win condition at the top. You see one player, he's actually down. Handles gets the decap while down. That opens up a little bit of time for his teammates to work with, even though it is going to be a 3v4.
Oh, they can't. Oh, he pulled out the flash. He got 1 shot with this snipe. Put it on the cover. Force a double flash to the push. I love the setup to get the hill back in the late game. Play for the time. Now play your numbers. Almost catches Zysho, but it's still a bow. Don't forget it was on a 60-second respawn timer, right? So that's starting to bite Pioneers in the behind as you got Monkeys with the bow in hand. It's a 2v2 on this hill, but Bronny has to play too far wide. He knew he had to get a kill. He was in a bad position. Just 24 more seconds on the clock for the comeback to be completed. Monkeys gets out. Oh, that shot, Jacob. He comes back. They were just practicing it. Acels has to back away. The E-Hill, not decap Cardia. What you got left in the tank? You got it all. You got it all. You got it all in the tank. Rebel, rise up because the Rebellion has completed the comeback. It's a 3-0 victory. Let's lock this up.
I told you, Blaze, Star Wars teaches me everything. The Rebel forces have taken down the Empire in these group stages, and this is actually exciting to see because we keep talking about it. This is the best season that we've seen Rebel perform, and what a Cinderella season it is going to be because it's the last major event. Can you imagine Monkeys crowning himself king after getting traded away off the other rosters?
All I gotta say is give it up to King Cardia. Okay, your MVP. 15 kills, 20 assists, 20k damage for the boy on the comeback. Put respect on Cardia's name right there because he was the superstar. You saw multiple snipes come through, but we talk about the plays that don't get seen, that don't get a lot of love. Cardia makes a lot of those plays, and sometimes you got to back him up with the scoreboard right there. But what an insane comeback that was. Man, we haven't seen a 5-round comeback on Vascar in a long time. And to do it up against the Pioneers, one of the best, if not the best Vascar team that we've seen in our league.
Wow. I feel like the last time I seen something like this, or relatively close, it may have been Reciprocity against one of those EU Finest rosters in the very first major event, open major event, I should say, in Gears of War 5. They completed the sweep. It might have been tiebreaker map as well for them to go on and win that championship at the end of the day. As Rebel is looking to make history, they're looking to repeat Reciprocity's history.
Man, well, hey, if you want to embody reciprocity in any given fashion or form, well, now is the time during the summer major. This is where you want to play some of your best gears. And Rebel, they have been slowly getting better, and they have been that preparation. It just showed right there on Vascar. Man, oh man. Jacob, that's our last matchup for the day. It has been a pleasure, my brother. Any last words for this one?
Hey, I'm just happy because we've seen some surprises so far, but already a great surprise to end the day because I did not expect PK losing in that last matchup. I was trying to give them the confidence, give them my energy, saying they were going to win the major for at least the past couple of weeks now. Hey, I'm just ready for Latin American to be on top.
Hey, man, you know what? The way that Fury 1 has been playing, I told you they inspired the other LATAM teams out there. It could be their tournament. But, hey, we can pontificate on that all day long, but we'll send it over to three men who know how to break this series down.
Thank you so much, Blaze. Thank you, PR, for killing it. Our last match of the day. And, yeah, Blaze said it. My perfect streak officially ruined. I blame Ash for jinxing me. Clearly his fault. And Rebel takes this one 3-0. Ash, they were looking so damn good.
Yeah, I mean, that was the Rebel that we were saying needed to show up in this matchup. KCP, a strong team, but that strong team that we expected just didn't show up in this series. You know, they looked dysfunctional. They looked like a family torn. And Ribs kind of hinted at earlier, you know, or maybe it was you, John, they aren't really in sync. You know, there might be some rumors of some internal issues, and you know, after watching that kind of gameplay, it showed. You know, there's this body language that you can read when you're competing against another team and you know them so well, and their body language was, you know, more submissive, whereas Rebel was confident. They were aggressive. You can see the teamwork that they had taking this retake right here on this hill. I mean, they were just all over the map doing what they wanted.
Yeah, and the worst part about it was they had leads, KCP. You look at that first map, they're up 260 to 150, I believe, and they couldn't close. Canals I won't really touch on. I mean, Exploits is just so clutch. He wins technically. This is a 1v3 here. He pretty much owns this map. It's him and Avexis who very rarely lose this map as a sniper. But then that last map, I don't think I've ever seen KCP crumble like that on an escalation. And I don't know if it was the lag outs. I don't know if it was the sniper being put down. It could have been anything. But a championship caliber team that we were calling a dynasty just a few months ago cannot get reverse 5-0'd like that. It's just unacceptable.
Yeah, I mean, and you were talking about the 1v3 right there, but I mean, like, even there, look at what KCP did. Bronny miss rolls into the hill.
Yeah.
The last player, I don't know who it was, they add an extra bounce into their movement. Handled adds an extra bounce into his movement, losing them the round. Like, that's the kind of stuff that, like, when you're a championship caliber team, you're not making those panicky mistakes in the moment when it matters. Rebel, they're not making those mistakes. You know, they're clutching up when it matters. That's championship caliber play from Rebel.
I gotta completely agree, and honestly, I gotta eat my words. I was one of the people vouching for this dynasty. Granted, you know, my tweet, my vouch was around precision being on this team, and that's obviously a much different squad. But nonetheless, dynasties, championship caliber teams, you're absolutely right. Don't crumble like they are right now. Don't fall apart internally like they have been. You know, I don't know what's going on internally, what's going on with KCP boys, but we know what they're capable of as what we thought was one of the best dynasties up there with Optic Gaming. A lot of people talked about, but this certainly does not look like it. Instead, Rebel looking so sharp. But take a look at the score. I mean, every map was close. You gotta obviously give KCP slight benefit of the doubt here. It's only Friday. It's only pool play. We know they do turn up on Sundays. Can they keep that dynasty as clean as possible and end up on top to prove that they truly were the best Gears 5 team? Or will this be the beginning, the first time ever LATAM wins the trophy in the last ever Gears 5 esports event? I mean, Ribs, that's the big question right now.
Yeah, I mean, and they're looking good between Rebel, F1, the Knights. I mean, this is the Latin Americans' time. We've made this storyline so many times, but how fitting would it truly be for the final event, a Latin American team to win? Only pool play, though. There's still so much gameplay left. There's still all of Champ Bracket to decide. Teams that had those tough losses like KCP, you know, they could always come back and play better in Champ Bracket. We've seen them do it before.
Absolutely. Yeah, and you know, there's still United and Rise as North American teams to get through, let alone KCP on Championship Sunday. We know what they're capable of. They got to get there first. They got to get through Saturday, that's for sure. But hey, pool play is done and dusted. The last ever pool play of Gears 5 esports, which is crazy to think. Obviously, it was a great Friday, a lot of really great matches, some big upsets. Obviously, not many would have expected us three didn't Rebel to beat KCP, so we ended with an upset. But Fury won over the Pittsburgh Knights. That was huge. Twilight almost beats Rise. That would have been insane. Rise looking a little bit shaky, Ash. I mean, of all the number one seeds coming out of tomorrow, or first seeds in your pool, Rise with only a 75% win percentage.
Yeah, I mean, last time I doubted them, I ate my words, but it is very surprising that they, maybe it's the new setups, maybe they're not comfortable at the land center they're at, that Twilight, is able to take them to that map 5. It's equally impressive from Twilight, right? That's a team that is coming from not being part of the Pro League to now pushing teams to the edge in this pool play stage. So I'm really wanting to keep my eye on them. I'm thinking they could be a dark horse for this tournament, especially as they continue to move forward. Like today had to be a confidence builder for them. But as we're looking at these overall pools, something that I'm noticing is the map win percentages are a lot closer in a lot of these pools compared to the last major. The number one team in every pool last major are all but one pool last major, 100% map win rate, didn't lose a map during pool play day. Today, nobody went perfect.
Yeah, that's actually really, really insane. I think it goes to show here we are at the very end of Gears 5 esports, and as even of a competition as we could have ever seen. Granted, all of Gears 5 had more competition than we saw in all of Gears 4 because, the two teams that you guys were on just won every single event. But still, at least now, you see so many teams that can compete, that can contend, which has been fun to watch. But the interesting thing in all that, though, Ribs, most interesting stat in my eyes, the technical best team leading pool play by map win percentage is Fury 1, 90%.
Yeah, and they weren't even favored to win that said pool. That was the main upset of the day, and you love to see that. And
yeah,
I mean, we've had it throughout Gears 5 where we say the gameplay and the level of skill and talent on these teams were very even. But this being the last event and these statistics actually show that the level of play, this is anyone's tournament. We've said that so many times, but it truly is for this event. And the top teams seem to be struggling, and the other teams just seem to be hungrier.
That's right. Well, hey, pool play is done and dusted. Let's take a look at the championship bracket to kick off championship Saturday. Tomorrow is my favorite part of Friday, seeing how things are going to shake up. And guess what? We will have Fury 1 if they can win their matchup in round 2, playing against Rise if they can win their matchup in round 3. But take a look right before then. Rise will be playing up against the Kansas City Pioneers. That'll be actually a rematch of our losers bracket final from the last major. That'll be a great one. The Pittsburgh Knights, if they beat Team Queso, will be playing against United. So talk about some shakeups here. Because Fury 1 won their pool, we're going to have some really interesting round 2s. And you see some Casa and Casa action there in round 1 as well, Ribs.
Yeah, two houses of paper going against each other. There can only be one. Maybe the second roster will overtake the A team and make their own A team. But yeah, I mean, both of those winners quarter matchups, Rise Pioneers and United versus Knights, those are what we would expect to be in maybe grand final. So it's crazy to see those so early on, right, Nick?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm also a little bit sad because Northern and Twilight are kind of my two dark horse teams.
That's gonna be a hell of a match.
Yeah, and I think Northern is one of those teams that you really can't count out when you have people like Kenny and Lava on it. Cells obviously being a phenomenal player himself. So you never can overlook that team. But then you've got Twilight, who we were just talking about, pulling this almost upset against the defending champions in Rise. Every single match on that entire bracket, I'm excited for.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Gosh, so many good matchups. I hope we start off the championship Saturday with Twilight versus Northern, because that's going to be a very, very good matchup. I am so incredibly excited. And guess what? We are! Hey. My man Goalie says your wish is my command as he pulls up tomorrow's schedule right away to kick off the day, 11 o'clock Eastern. We got Northern Forces versus Twilight. Be there or be square. Winners round 2, which will have some great championship caliber-esque winners round 2 matchups right after that at 1 and 3 o'clock. And of course, we'll wrap with winners semis, which we always do on Saturday, 5 and 7 o'clock Eastern. It's going to be an absolute blast tomorrow. What are you looking forward to most, Ribs?
I'll be honest, right off the bat, Northern versus Twilight, and the winner of that plays Fury 1, which is awesome. And then surely on the Bravo, we'll be watching Team Queso versus the Knights at that same time slot. So just like Nick said, at first there was a few that I saw that were like, oh, that looks like good. But then I looked at all of them, and those are all good matches, hard to call. And this is a champ bracket I honestly didn't expect, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
Ash, how about you?
Yeah, absolutely. This final major for Gears 5 Esports is really... The bracket is lining up to be something that's not going to let anybody down. It's going to be an entertaining bracket. But I do have a question to pose to you guys with how Fury 1 performed today in pool play. And knowing that Tody has been kind of stuck hitting that grand finals but never winning that championship, as far as I can recall, do we think that this is it? Do we think we saw enough out of Fury 1 today to let us think that, maybe they could take this one?
Damn, I love that question. Can you imagine? I'm going to start by answering that, Ribs, and you could take after me. I'm going to say no. As much as I want to be positive, listen, I want to tell that story. I love the idea of it because I think you're right. I think it's possible. United's looking too good, in my opinion. I think it's United's tournament to lose here, Ribs.
Yeah, but United's on the other side of that bracket, so you have to look at the bracket. And I've never been the type to kind of jump on a bandwagon, but Fury won 5-win streak coming into this weekend.
Yeah.
And then they show up on Friday. We will have to see how they face against Twilight or Northern Forces. But either of those two teams probably happy that they drew Fury 1 if they could win that first matchup. But Fury 1, they're playing amazing. They shouldn't be afraid of anybody at this point. And that's just same to say for Rebel.
My big thing is X Factor, aimbot. If aimbot and Jaylee can play the way that they played today, can play loose, can play free, not get some championship Saturday and Sunday nerves, then I think it's possible, Ash. I love that question, man. So it's going to be fun to watch. That is for sure. It's been a hell of a day, a long day here at the UMG studio in St. Louis. Thanks so much, everybody, for tuning in to the last pool play of Gears 5. Wow, crazy to think. It's been a ton of fun so far. A lot of great matchups. And obviously, we're having way too much fun here live in the studio all together for the first time in God knows how long. So thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. Gears fam, I love you all so much. You guys have no idea. Gears is literally the reason I'm in this chair and get to talk about esports for a living. So much love for every single one of you. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. We got 2 more days, baby. That's it for Gears Esports for now. Spread the word. Let's hype it up this weekend. Let's have one hell of a weekend. And we'll see you tomorrow as we kick off the championship bracket. Take it easy, everybody.